Yo, what's good? Have you watched One Piece? Nah, man, that shit's too long. No, it's not, man. You'll love it. I promise. Look, man, I just don't have the time for that kind of commitment right now. I know it's a huge time sink, but it gets really good about 400 episodes in. Really? Yeah? Yeah? Alright. Let me start with that whole conversation was bullshit. One Piece is good from the absolute beginning. If you want to push it just a bit, I'd say give it at least until the end of Arlong Park. But that's only if you really are having an issue committing to a long ass story about pirates. While yes, the forefront of One Piece is about pirates and friendship, it's so much more than that. Watching up until at least Arlong Park, which is still a top 5 arc for me, is the perfect length to get an accurate judgment of whether you like the show or not. If you don't like it after that, then it just isn't for you. And that's okay. I'm not one of those One Piece fans who don't like it if you don't like my series. But if you don't like One Piece, eat my ass, you tasteless prick. Anyways, if you'd like to see me rant about any other anime, let me know which one below. And if you want to be a part of a growing community, join my Discord and follow me on Twitter. Links below. Let's talk about One Piece. No spoilers, of course. One Piece is a story that is very difficult to get into. You see that whopping 1,000+ episodes or chapters, and it's scary. I get it. But if you can commit to it, you're showing your future wife or husband or partner just how good you are with commitment. Think about it. Even my recommendation of reaching the end of Arlong Park is a huge ask. In a world where most anime only last a season or two with 12 episodes each, getting to the end of Arlong Park is double that ask since it ends at episode 44, chapter 95 if you're reading it. Honestly, I'd recommend reading it over anything else. I know a lot of people don't read manga, preferring to just watch anime, but One Piece is so big that reading it allows you to kind of pace it yourself. It took me about a month to get from chapter 1 to chapter 940. Let's talk about the manga a bit more before we get into the anime though. Oda is a god with a pen. A common complaint that you'll hear is the art style is weird. Now that's definitely subjective. What you can't deny is how good Oda's art is, past the weird art style. This is also subjective, but I'm talking, so I'm right. Oda definitely displays this every chance he gets. Every panel is filled with eye-pleasing details. That is, until you get to the paneling. And let me be honest, I do have a problem with this. One of a mangaka's goals should be to make their story as easy to read as possible. In the beginning of One Piece, this is less of a problem. But being in Wano has definitely highlighted this issue a bit more. I get it though. Oda has so much story that he wants to talk about, and a limited amount of pages to cover it, which in turn makes some pages feel cluttered and hard to follow. The only other issue I can really think of as far as the manga would be the length of the arcs. This falls back into the so much story to tell thing. We have literally seen at least 10 mainstream manga come and go since Wano started. Wano started before the sickness. I'm not going to say the actual name because I don't want YouTube getting mad at me. And it's still going. That does perfectly tie us into the anime. I, for the life of me, could not get into the anime. I am an avid Skypiea unenjoyer. Because that's where I kept getting held up with when I was trying to start One Piece by watching the anime. And the pacing is so bad. I just kept trying to watch the anime instead of reading the manga, and that's because I wasn't able to pace myself with the anime. I was locked into a 20+ minute episode every time. I just didn't like it as far as trying to catch up on a series that was so far ahead of me. Pacing can also be way off in the anime, since they constantly add filler. It's not necessarily bad filler, like Naruto. It's canon filler, so it adds to the story. Also, let me correct myself. I do like Skypiea as long as I'm reading it in the manga, just not the anime. No. It just drags on certain parts for longer than it needs to be. I'd honestly recommend to read the manga and watch the fights that you think would look really cool. So, I said a lot of bad. I did start with some good, but it's time for the good. One Piece has stellar storytelling. constantly referring to real life themes to make the story even more engaging. Take The Fishman, for example, and its real world equation to racism. Don't at me. I know there's a lot of people that don't like that, but it's true. Get over it. A journey of friends to become the best at what they do, like Luffy wanting to be the king of pirates, Zoro wanting to be the best swordsman, Sanji wanting to be the best cook, so on and so forth. Seeing these characters grow and the crew expand is phenomenal. Watching Luffy take on the world in the way that makes sense to him and Law. Look, if you took everything else out of One Piece and just had Law in it, I'd still call it peak fiction. As I mentioned earlier, the art is amazing. I personally enjoy the art style. It allows a lot of weird and wacky designs, and then you have the anime side of things, where somehow, while being an anime that never takes a break, still somehow puts out the most stunning animation you'll ever see. There's just so much to love about One Piece, and I honestly don't feel like I could cover it all in one video. And most people won't love it for the exact same reason. This is one of those shows I'll recommend, or manga, that I'll recommend to the day that I die. Unless, of course, Oda botches the ending. But I don't think One Piece will be over until like 2045 anyways. So, we have a while. With that being said, if you liked the video, please subscribe. Turn on the notification. I'm getting back on a schedule, I promise. And again, if you want to see me break down or rant about any other anime, let me know in the comments. Peace.